Most people think they would recognize if God was trying to change their life, but they wouldn't, because God rarely changes your life in obvious ways. Sometimes He removes people. Sometimes He delays things. Sometimes He allows confusion, silence, and pressure. And while you're busy asking, "Why is this happening to me?" God may actually be preparing you for a completely different life. The scary part is this: most people miss the signs. They mistake spiritual growth for failure. They mistake isolation for abandonment. They mistake God's silence for God's absence. But today, you are about to discover 8 signs that God is leading your life, even if it feels painful, even if nothing makes sense right now. And trust me, one of these signs is probably happening to you already. So before you skip this video, listen carefully, because this may explain everything you have been feeling lately, and maybe this message found you for a reason. So subscribe and keep walking with us on this journey toward God. Sign 1, you're going through loss, but you haven't given up on God. The first sign is this: you have lost something, maybe a person, maybe a relationship, maybe a dream you built your whole life around, and it hurt deeply. But here is what's remarkable about you. You didn't walk away from God. You might have cried out to Him in anger. You might have asked why. You might have gone quiet for a season, but you're still here, and that matters more than you know. Because Jesus said every branch that bears fruit gets pruned, not weak branches, not dead branches, fruitful ones. Pruning is painful. It looks like destruction from the outside, but the gardener knows exactly what he is doing. The pain you're carrying right now is not evidence that God abandoned you. It may be evidence that He is preparing you for something greater than what you lost. The people who walk away from God when things get hard, they never see what was coming next, but you stayed, and that is sign number 1. Sign 2, you feel out of place in environments you once enjoyed. This one is subtle, but powerful. Have you noticed that certain conversations feel different now? Certain environments feel heavy. Things that once entertained you now leave you feeling empty. People around you haven't changed, but something inside you has. And you can't fully explain it. That discomfort is not a problem. That is spiritual growth happening in real time. When God changes you from the inside, your spirit becomes sensitive to things that don't align with where He is taking you. The gossip stops feeling funny. The meaningless noise becomes exhausting. The environments built on emptiness start feeling like the wrong room. And sometimes people misread this. They think, something is wrong with me, but nothing is wrong with you. You are simply becoming someone whose spirit no longer fits in places God never designed for you. That feeling of not belonging everywhere, that is a sign you belong somewhere specific, and God is leading you there. Sign 3, you pray even when you don't feel like it. This sign is one of the most honest ones, because anyone can pray when life is good. Anyone can worship when blessings are flowing. But you pray even when the words feel dry. You show up even when you feel nothing. You talk to God even when you're not sure He's listening. And that is one of the most powerful forms of faith that exists. It is easy to trust God on a mountaintop. The real test is the valley. The real test is the silence. The real test is praying through tears and hearing nothing back. And yet you continue. That is not weakness. That is spiritual perseverance. And God does not miss it. Every prayer you whispered in the dark, every moment you chose faith over fear, every time you showed up even when you didn't feel like it, God saw all of it. And none of it was wasted. If this is already speaking to your heart, subscribe right now, because the next signs go even deeper. Sign 4, you are being stretched beyond your comfort zone. God will never let you stay comfortable forever. Because comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. And if God has called you to something real, He will stretch you. He will ask you to forgive someone you wanted to hate. He will ask you to trust Him in a situation that makes no logical sense. He will push you into roles that feel too big for who you think you are. And in those moments, every part of you will want to run back to what is familiar. But here is what I want you to understand. The discomfort you are feeling right now is not a sign that you chose the wrong path. It is a sign that you are on a path that requires more of you. Faith sounds beautiful in theory, but when you actually have to use it, it is terrifying. And the people God uses most powerfully are almost always the ones who were most afraid. Moses was afraid, Gideon was afraid, Peter was afraid, but they moved anyway. And if God is stretching you right now, if life is demanding more from you than you think you can give, that is not a crisis. That is a calling. Sign 5, your pain has started producing compassion. This is the sign that will change everything. Because pain has 2 possible outcomes. It either makes you bitter or it makes you better. And here is how you know which one is happening in you. When you hear someone else struggling, do you feel something? When you see someone going through what you once went through, do you feel pulled toward them instead of away? That is not coincidence. That is God using your wounds to make you useful. The most powerful healers in this world are almost never the ones who had perfect lives. They are the ones who went through darkness and chose to carry a light for others on the same road. Your pain was not random. Your broken season was not wasted. God was building something in you during that time that can only be built through suffering. And if your pain has made you more compassionate, more understanding, more patient with broken people, then your pain has already begun producing purpose. And that is sign number 5. If God is speaking to you through this, subscribe and tap like. It takes 1 second and it helps this message reach someone else who needs it right now. Sign 6, you feel convicted but not condemned. This sign is one the enemy tries to confuse, because there is a difference between conviction and condemnation. And understanding that difference can change your entire relationship with God. Condemnation says you are too broken, too far gone, too much of a mess. Give up. Conviction says you were made for better than this. Get up. Condemnation destroys, conviction restores. And here is what starts happening when you are truly walking with God. You say something unkind and immediately feel it. You make a selfish choice and your conscience won't let it go. You drift towards something that pulls you away from God and your spirit becomes uncomfortable. That discomfort is not God punishing you. That is God protecting you. A heart that has grown far from God goes numb. It stops feeling. It stops caring. It justifies everything. But your heart still responds. And if God still convicts you, if you still feel the pull to be better, if you still care about who you are becoming, that is one of the clearest signs His Spirit is alive and active inside you. The most dangerous spiritual condition is not struggling. It is feeling absolutely nothing at all. Sign 7, God keeps confirming the same message. This one is remarkable when you see it, because God does not always speak loudly. Sometimes He speaks consistently. A verse appears at exactly the right moment. A sermon answers the exact question you were carrying alone. Someone says something to you out of nowhere, and it hits your soul like it was written specifically for you. And the first time it happens, you call it coincidence, but then it happens again, and eventually you realize God has been speaking to you this entire time, not through thunder, not through visions, through patterns, through timing, through repeated gentle confirmations. And the closer you walk with God, the more clearly you begin to recognize His voice. You stop calling it coincidence, you start calling it guidance. And if you have been noticing the same message appearing in different places, that is not your imagination. That is God making sure you don't miss what He is trying to show you. Sign 8, your life is quietly producing fruit. This is the final sign. And honestly, this is the one that cannot be faked forever, because Jesus said it plainly. You will know a tree by its fruit, not by its appearance. Not by its words, not by how many people admire it, by its fruit. And spiritual fruit is not always dramatic. It is not always visible on the outside. Sometimes it looks like this. You are more patient than you used to be. More honest, more kind, more disciplined, more peaceful. The people closest to you feel something different when they are around you. Your presence brings calm instead of chaos. Your words carry weight they didn't used to carry. And slowly, without even trying to announce it, your life begins helping people, not because you are perfect, but because God has been working in you quietly, pruning, stretching, convicting, restoring. And the fruit of all that work is finally beginning to show. That is the final sign. And if even one of these 8 signs is present in your life right now, you are not lost, you are not forgotten, you are not failing. You are walking on God's path, even when it doesn't feel like it. Before you leave, comment the number of the sign that spoke directly to your heart, just the number, 1 through 8. Because naming what God is doing in your life is sometimes the first step toward fully trusting it. And if this video reached your soul today, please subscribe, because this channel exists for people exactly like you, people who are still believing, still praying, still walking forward even when the road is hard. Your subscription tells me to keep going, and together we keep walking. God bless you.